This is the Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Here are your hosts, Sean Green and Ryan Kramer. I can't believe we're letting these guys on my network.
Welcome, everyone, to the Sports Gambling Podcast live here on VSiN. I'm Sean, second the Money Green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. Happy Friday, Sean.
Oh, Ryan, if you've never been on a conference call with Ryan, he loves starting off with a happy Monday, happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday. And then by Thursday and Friday, he actually means it. And Ryan, it is truly a happy Friday. We got playoff basketball. We got playoff hockey. We got meaningless, somewhat regular season UFL action. We got futures. We got Shedeur Sanders props that we can bet on, aka our segment. You can bet on that. We got Bill Belichick drama. We got the
Shedeur's college teammate Travis Hunter.
Oh yes, we got props on him. We got our buddy man in the box, CJ Sullivan, calling in. We're gonna do our fun segment, Bet Confessions, where we admit to gambling stuff that maybe we wouldn't normally admit to. Either bets we placed, bets we said we placed that maybe we didn't. We come clean. Kind of perfect timing with the new Pope. We got an American Pope who's also a Villanova fan, and I saw this is how gamblers can try and say, "Hey, it's all about plus EV. It's all about my model." But I don't know if you saw this story, Ryan. The Pope went to Villanova, and then immediately Villanova to win the national championship was getting a ton of bets. He's a White Sox fan. I don't think anyone was taking White Sox to win the World Series, but like White Sox to win the next game. Josh Hart the night before was the top scorer in that playoff win for the Knicks. That was like 80-1. So people, they can claim they're not superstitious. They don't believe in a higher power when it comes to sports gambling, but the results say otherwise.
It's a literal god, right?
Yeah.
It's not just a gambling god.
Yeah.
Or maybe for the first time we have a gambling god.
Oh yeah. And I mean, if he went to Villanova and then he's from Chicago, we might have our first gambling Pope, Ryan.
It's the first American, right?
I don't mean to speak for the Pope, but I know a lot of guys from Chicago.
Yeah.
I know a lot of guys from Philly. A high percentage of those guys that are huge sports fans. Did you see the Pope was at the World Series for the White Sox in like 2005, and the camera just happened to catch him in the audience?
Who found that? Who went back and discovered
that? Just shows you. Good luck getting away with anything these days if they can find a game you attended 20 years ago.
So he's from Chicago?
I think he's from Chicago and he went to Villanova.
He traveled to Philly and then back to Chicago.
That I don't know his entire career.
Usually when you take that kind of trip, it's a different type of organization. Organization.
But yeah, hats off to the Pope.
Shout out to the Pope.
You're a big Pope guy, and American Pope, first American Pope. And of course, people, now that you can bet on anything. And of course, Brian, that would have been a perfect segment for You Can Bet on That, which we will be doing later on in the show. The Pope that ended up being elected, he was like 100-1. Even, there was some late steam and it did move him off the number, anywhere between 60 to 100-1. The Pope was. And again, I guess just being the first American Pope, the odds were pretty crazy.
I'd imagine it's like the draft, right?
Yeah.
Get some variants in there, probably some real nice CLV.
All it takes.
Real quick, does an American Pope have an Italian accent? How does that work?
I don't know.
Have we heard him talk yet?
No, I have not heard him talk.
Imagine if he just sounds like Tony Soprano. I mean, come on, Sean.
He's from Chicago, Philadelphia, very Italian heavy areas.
He took some Italian migratory paths.
Yes, very, very, very hotbed of known Italians. And Ryan, are you wearing your legalized legalized marinara T-shirt in support of the first American Pope?
It was the only thing I had that I felt like would pay respect to the Pope. So,
and bringing it back to Circa and Las Vegas, we actually saw that T-shirt for sale on Fremont Street. I jokingly said, Kramer, yes, you got to get the legalized marinara shirt. You didn't end up getting it there. I think your kids got it for you
somehow.
As a gift
I
on
was
going
to say somehow that guy we got that across the finish line. But yeah, showed up to the house, solid product. Gets a lot of comments. At the youth sports.
So we're going to be doing a new segment coming up next, aka the we're going to call it loosely titled the Steam Room, the sauna. We're going to give out a play, sweat it live. If you want to play along, feel free to hop in, Ryan. It will be from this Thunder Nuggets game. Right now, the Thunder 40, Nuggets 39. I'm already sweating out. I was on the Nuggets getting the points there, plus 5.5. I thought, coming off a 43-point loss, and they're at home with the elevation, it felt like a good / at least very decent spot to hammer the Nuggets. Did you have anything pre-flop, Ryan?
The NBA playoffs are mentally.
It's been insane,
putting everyone in a pretzel. I mean, the instincts were to say, "Wow, okay, short number for OKC." Even I was ignoring everything else, right? I thought, like, at the beginning of the playoffs, we made a pact together and said the Thunder were the good team. They're not only the good team, but they're the good team that tries hard. And then we started watching the Nuggets, and it's like, oh man,
well, and then
Joker's really fun to watch.
And they didn't have. I was not shocked that the Nuggets won one of those first two games. What I was shocked that it was game one. I mean, I was listening to some of the game on the radio, and the Nuggets broadcasters were going, "This team looks tired.
They should have been
fatigued." Tired. I mean, and there were a bunch of good trends of teams coming off a 4-0 sweep versus a team coming off a 7-game series. The team with that extra rest, it was huge. And I think what we're seeing, you saw it with the Celtics, who went down 0-2, and then you saw it with the Cavs, who got out of their 0-2 deficit with a win and cover there on the road. I think in the NBA, with the quote unquote 3-point shooting variance, we always have this debate, rest versus rust. And I think because all these teams are relying more and more, the Thunder won 68 games. A lot of it could be because of their shooting. You get that muscle memory, the rhythm, and then you lose it by taking such a long time off, and then it's tough to get back. And then we saw it in game 2. You're like, oh, okay, that's the Thunder team. We know they completely destroyed them. That's when the Nuggets looked exhausted. But now Nuggets, couple days of rest, back at home with the elevation. I do like the Nuggets and the points. We'll see, though. We're sitting right here, 42-39, 7 minutes left to go. I also got down on the prop market for this.
Well, you know what it
matchup.
also is, Sean? Yeah. It's the fact that in basketball, typically the team with the best player has the advantage because they have the best player.
Yeah.
And OKC doesn't have the best player.
Yeah.
It's a unique element to this series.
And also too, the injury report stuff for the NBA, I was looking forward to the playoffs.
Just don't have it.
Where there's, or just injury information, right? I was looking forward to the playoffs where it's like, okay, a little less shenanigans. Now the shenanigans,
they're doing load management in the playoffs, Sean.
Well, the Celtics did do that. And maybe they should have done it more because maybe Jaylen Brown isn't right. Maybe Tatum isn't right. Also, incredibly, not that I ever feel bad for Jason Tatum, but the Superman commercial coming out right after that horrific game 2 performance, you got to feel.
I posted like a picture on the old social media account, like this.
Oh, really?
Tough look. Yeah, I'm in the office late night editing the podcast, and I look up and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is such a. I mean, it's already a bad commercial.
Yeah. No,
let alone after you've blown back-to-back 20-point games and been incredibly soft in doing so.
Yeah, it's a bad look. But Ryan, what do you think about
an NBA head? But
what do you think about your Knicks? Just getting ahead of it here a little bit. They're laying 5.5. Or sorry, the Celtics are laying 5.5 on the road. In some ways, I think this benefits them going on the road because the pressure, and you could just feel that crowd tighten up. As the game was when they got up 20 points, you think like, okay, this is going to be the 20-point lead that doesn't go away for the Celtics, but it did. I mean, losing back-to-back 20-point games where you had 20-point leads at home is kind of impressive. What do you make of the Celtics? Knicks tomorrow? I just like Celtics first half -4. I think they're going to get off to a good start, but I don't know how you could trust the Celtics to lay 5.5.
I mean, the instincts would say Boston. Joe Mazzulla, he liked getting choked out, right? This is the exact kind of situation he might like to be in, a little bit air asphyxiated. But no, I mean, I would think you'd have to take Boston, but also, man, because now they are nervous. Now the nerves are. I think this went from okay, you lose a game. That happens. Boston drops games, right? They drop. But you can point to the road trends for Boston. They've been a very good road playoff team. But something happened that woke something up in Boston fans after the second loss. Because Jalen Brunson didn't have an amazing game.
No, and that's the thing. Like
you said, Josh Hart was the leading scorer. I mean, the new Pope maybe helped that one out with a couple Hail Marys thrown up top there. But again, it's not like the second one was strange because it was totally Boston being passive and a beta team. And now you're going to the Garden for a game that is going to. I mean, no offense to Boston fans, but you're going to price Boston fans out of the building because everyone in New York wants to go to this game.
Yeah,
and for the first time,
if you're a Celtics fan, are you going to be paying $1,000 to go to this game where you're down 0-2 and you look like crap?
Linsanity, like that moment, that electricity in the Garden. I don't know how far else you need to go back to get to this point. The Allen Houston series against the Heat, this is going to be one of the crazier home edges for a building that typically is a little overrated. I think this is going to be a huge home edge. So while the instincts say yes, no, thank you. Give me my Knicks. I'm back. Basketball's back in New York.
And prop I like for tomorrow, Celtics Knicks. Give me a Tatum over 10.5 rebounds. He's had 30 rebounds in the first 2 games. He's aggressive on the glass, not so much when it comes to scoring. We are going to enter the steam room, Ryan. Live play when we return. Sports Game Podcast live on VSiN.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome back, everyone. Sports Gambling Podcast live. Sean, second the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, real money Kramer. It's happening, Kramer.
I already said happy Friday and got lambasted for it, so I will say good evening.
Yeah, now you gotta come up with a new gimmick to open things up.
Save it for the second hour. Go right back to the happy Friday.
Thunder 49, Nuggets 45. We'll be sweating this out live. We're gonna be do a little group think here, Ryan. Maybe we agree on our play, maybe we don't. But we're not in the Vegas studio. Always missing Circa. But when you're out here in California, like we are, it's great to have access to Profit X to get down on the NBA playoffs. Because Profit X available in 40 plus states. If you don't think you have access to it, there's a good chance you do. 40 out of 50 states. I'm doing the math. That's 80% of the states. Profit X peer-to-peer sports betting exchange available in 40 states. This is what's great because you're just going up against some other user head to head, which means you are going to get the best price on average by 10 to 20%. So you're already super sharp, and you can even request your own odds. So if you want to get kind of crazy with maybe an alt line, et cetera, see if you can get a buyer on the other end. Download Profit X today with code VSiN and earn up to $200 in profit cash over your first month. That's Profit X, promo code VSIN. Kramer, we got to talk about this game. OKC up 53-45. It sounds like you think.
Well, we're still fully clothed. How does this work? We're in a steam room, but
I know for the next time we do this bit, we will switch into our bathrobes. Although that might, if we do it in this circuit, we might be scaring some of the folks.
Oh, I think that's completely appropriate. They have ones upstairs.
There was a rumor. If you ever listened to like the Rodney Dangerfield, he would like show up to Vegas, shoot craps in a robe, and would wear nothing underneath the robe. And they would talk. He'd be hanging out. Just imagine shooting craps with Rodney Dangerfield. And they said he would just position himself however he likes, wind blowing all over the place, doesn't care. With some ladies who like to earn a living, I guess would be the nicest way to say it. So Kramer,
Okay.
I think
Conversion specialist.
yeah, there you go. Hospitality. They majored in hospitality. Right now, 53-47. I still think this is the Nuggets game.
Okay.
I'd like them to close it out. I think they're live on the money line. I'm seeing plus 315 on the money line, plus 8.5 for the spread. Total sitting at 234.5. We also have some options to maybe dabble in the prop market. Where's your head at, Ryan?
They appear to be going after Joker.
Okay.
So how do we attack that? Do we Joker rebounds? He seems like he's going to be around because he gets beat inside, which means he's there for the rebound. Rebounds around 14.5. I think he's sitting on 7 already.
Yeah. So I don't mind that.
And then maybe we take one of the bigs on OKC in some way.
Okay. Chet points, or what are you thinking?
I guess Hartenstein or Chet for points would probably be the way I would think about that.
All right. So yeah, Joker's sitting around 14.5 live number with the rebounds. Hartenstein has 8 points. He's only projected right now for 12.5.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
So higher.
Yeah.
Okay. Higher Joker 14.5 rebounds.
Yeah. This is great.
Higher Isaiah Hartenstein 12.5 points. Now we're going to have to find this sweet spot. All right. I'm firing. I'm accepting. Now this is tough because you're trying to
get them both in.
Well, we'll see. We might have to wait for a commercial break to get both these in, but yeah, I like the Joker rebounds, assuming we can keep this at 14.5 and Hartenstein. Okay. I'm hitting play.
Cool. We're in.
No, I'm not in. All right. Let me try again. This is I'm in. All right. So we're officially in. We officially have a live sweat over Joker 14.5 rebounds put together, aka parlayed with Isaiah Hartenstein over 12.5 points. Ryan, we're going to be updating this live throughout the night, and yeah, it feels pretty good. I mean,
are you going to get in on the side? Like you mentioned that you had pre-flop, you had you were interested in the Nuggets.
Yeah,
you're still interested in the Nuggets money line. What's the money line got to be at halftime for you to be?
You know what? Maybe I'll wait a little bit and see how the rest of this. I'll just do it at halftime because I don't see it changing tremendously between now and then. And I just saw my account refresh, Ryan, with
Very
a
good
UFL winner. So
congratulations!
I got the I got the DC Defenders laying 7.5. They won 32-24. Hopefully you tuned into our UFL Picks podcast. We're going to be talking UFL later on in the episode with our buddy CJ, as well as giving out our own UFL picks. Coming off a last week undefeated, Ryan.
Congratulations.
4-0 ATS in the UFL. And next time I run into Derek or Jeff Benson, I'm gonna try and convince them circa millions for the UFL. Do you think they'll go for it?
What I was thinking about, how would you do a survivor for a league with 8 teams and 10 weeks? Yeah, interesting, right? you get a couple you get a couple passes. Yeah, I mean, no. How many people do you think honestly would sign up for a circa million for UFL?
You, me, our buddy CJ,
could we get 100?
Colby, yeah, we could definitely get 100. Yeah, come on, we could. Producer Johnny just came in our ear. He said he's ready to get down on a UFL, some UFL action.
All right? So the total's 232 right now live, and the number's 8. Any thoughts for this game? 55-49. Either way, total 232.5. Point spread 8.
Yeah, I mean, I still like the Nuggets. I think I'm going to sprinkle them.
So settle that money line when it pops up for halftime here.
Yeah, or maybe
plus 325.
Yeah, I'm seeing now all the way up to 330.
Okay.
Does feel like I would probably look to the under. I think things might get a little chippy, but the problem is the fouls, and we're already seeing some of these guys getting in foul trouble. Joker got 2 quick fouls there to start the game. If he gets in foul trouble, some of these other bigs get in foul trouble. That could be good for the Thunder, or just in general for scoring. Do you have a take on the total or side live, Ryan?
I just I like the Thunder.
Okay,
so just scoop up the money line just little by little, like a CD.
At
get my 401k going. I still am tempted to take the point spread. I think there's a chance this turns out to another roll. I should have gotten involved pre-flop, but hopefully that Denver What I'm going to do is wait for the third quarter when you always see a little bit of a point variance, and hopefully we get a shorter number. But I'm still on OKC. Nothing has happened in this game that makes me think Denver is going to take advantage of the home edge.
What about the other game on Saturday? So for the early game, Celtics Knicks, I like Celtics laying the 4 in the first half. That's the only time I could trust them. And the Tatum rebounds. Again, he had 16 game 1, 14 game 2. I think he's good for another 11 rebounds there. What do you make of the late game, Ryan? Timberwolves at Warriors. Obviously, Steph Curry is out for this game. Timberwolves laying 5.5 points on the road. Any prop side total sitting around 200.5.
What's the Anthony Edwards injury?
Well, he rolled his ankle, but then he came back in the game, which was
that's adrenaline though. So how's he feeling now? NBA guys, he's not sensitive like most of them. My thought on this one is, this feels like the kind of game where they are still going to miss Steph. Is he playing?
Steph,
is he definitely out?
He's officially out.
Then I would take the Timberwolves.
Okay.
I would lay the points.
All right.
It feels a little sneaky. Looking at the betting splits, Sean, 88% of the handle and the bets on, or sorry, 73% of the bets, 88% of the handle on the Timberwolves. So, you
like your public Joe Q public plays.
The money and the bets are over there. I watched this Golden State team, and they were squeezing all the juice out of the fruit without Steph, and it still did. It didn't really matter.
And the Timberwolves are they're one of those teams. I don't like playing them at home. Whatever it is, they don't have a great home court edge, and they are better on the road, especially ATS. Yeah, this one's tough for me because I think for me what I like is going to the prop market, and even though it's a bit chalky, I do think a guy like Jimmy Butler at home with the pressure of carrying the offense, I don't mind taking his over point total.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
22.5 feels very reasonable for Jimmy Butler, a guy who's going to have the ball in his hands a bunch. And there's some of the role players you can always look to get down on as well. Role players on the road, and then fading them on the road and then taking them at home. But yeah, officially I'll go Butler. Give me Butler over 22.5 points. We'll close these out when we do our best segment at the end of the episode. But I think he has a big game. I think they keep it close. I kind of want to be cute and take the 5, but I'll probably hold off on the side officially there, Kramer. We got a fun segment coming up, Fair or Foul. It's a very generic title for a segment, but it gives us a chance to rant. We are sports gambling tastemakers, and there's stuff that really, sometimes I really like that's getting a ton of grief, and sometimes it's stuff I really hate. So we will break down Fair or Foul. What are we teeing up? Tune in when we return. Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSiN.
The Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Welcome back, everyone. Sports Gambling Podcast live. Sean, Second Money Green with a partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
I almost said Happy Friday. Reminded myself I can't say Happy Friday anymore. So,
well, Ryan,
I know that this will be a good therapeutic session for you. I know you get very irritated with the social media streets and people that go out there pretending the things they're not.
No, I do. We are going to tee up some good venting here on Fair or Foul. But Ryan, it is a happy Friday. You know why? Because VSiN Pro limited time offer. Normally they get you for $240 for the annual, which is a good deal in and of itself, but it's even a better deal when they get you for only $199. Essentially, you're getting 2 extra months free. All you got to use is the promo code PRO when you go to VSiN.com/subscribe. Promo code PRO for $199. You get it all for 14 months. Daily best bets from VSiN hosts and guests. Exclusive betting splits from DraftKings and Circuit, 24/7 live video and show replays on the VSiN Watch app. Again, you get it all for only $199. Sign up now. The deal is not going to get better, and it's like a little annuity or whatever. You put it away and it pays for itself, Ryan, because of all the great content you get, all the great picks, and you're covered for the entire football season, March Madness, the NBA playoffs for next year. You said it, you forget it. VSiN.com/subscribe, promo code PRO.
It will also get you access to the bangers that Sean and I put in the NFL preview this year.
Oh yeah, always fun. You can ignore some of the long, although did pretty good in the Super Bowl guide, as you would expect. Shout out to
you. Love all the picks.
Yeah,
the winners and the losers.
Well, I think I did pretty well in the. I'm trying to remember. I definitely had the Eagles alt line at -7.5, and felt pretty good talking to the old Derek Stevens about how he did in the Super Bowl, and he was like, they just kept hammering us on the Eagles alt line. Nobody took the Chiefs alt lines. So shout out to the Eagles. Go Birds. Thanks for reminding me, Ryan. Super Bowl champs.
Had you signed up for VSiN Bro 2 years ago at this time,
yeah,
you would have gotten in the Super Bowl guide that year a 30-1 Kyle Juszczyk to get the first reception in the Super Bowl.
Ryan, that is
unbelievable. The value you would have had.
Again, it pays for itself. All you have to hit is one of these long shot plays. Some of our first touchdown stuff. Anything we include, first to any and many. We had a number of first touchdowns that probably would have paid for the subscription itself, assuming your unit size is reasonable.
Maybe Bill will reach out and see about getting little exclusive first touchdowns over.
Ooh, okay, that's
I will
fun.
say the first touchdown tracker.
Yeah, great tool, and the prop tool over on VSiN as well. Again, one of the many reasons you should be checking it out, VSiN.com/subscribe. Update on our props, Ryan.
Yes.
Our live sweat from the steam room. Isaiah Hartenstein, we want him to get to 13 points. He's sitting at 8, so we need 5 in the second half. Joker sitting at 9 rebounds. We need him to get to 15. So little live sweat. Probably if you want to hop in live, probably the numbers haven't changed that much. What about are you doing anything, Ryan, at halftime? We were going to come back to that. Anything you're doing here halftime for the game?
It looks like it's plus 250.
Oh, okay. I'm seeing. Let's see.
There's some variance out there.
Plus 290 for the Nuggets live on the money line.
Okay.
You know what? Yeah, I'll do a little sprinkle because I was gonna play the 7.5, but I already got them 5.5. Probably doesn't make sense to toss in the 5.5 with the 7.5. I think they could win this game outright. So I'm going to toss in a little on the money line here at plus 290. Of course, missed the 320, 330 earlier, but I still think the Nuggets have a good shot to get it home here, especially these young kids, the elevation getting them late third quarter, fourth quarter.
I'm going to wait. Like I said, I'm going to buy the dip in the third quarter on the Thunder. That's the plan.
Well, this is going to be like Bitcoin, Ryan. You're never going to be able to buy the dip anymore. Over 100K. All right. So fair or foul. It's where we talk about stuff going on in the sports gambling world. And we weigh in whether it's fair game or foul. To me, this is something I've seen a number of times. You know, you got to be on social media in the sports gambling world, keeping up on the injuries, the line movement, whatever, the drama on sports gambling. You almost have to be on X just because it seems like the official sports gambling social media platform. I'm on Instagram or shows on Instagram, but it doesn't feel like because of the live nature of X, it seems like that's where everyone's on.
Yes.
And Schefter, Woj, you kind of have to know what's going on. Injury reports, late breaking stuff, transactions in the NFL. This is a trend that I just find insanely annoying. I'm all down for pranks. I like a good prank. I think pranks are funny. I've pranked a number of people over the years. I think
not a prank call though. That's an act of terrorism. Don't
get the Shador Sanders.
Just making sure we don't want to get.
How did Jeff Ulbrich lose $250,000 over that?
$100,000. He got
100
personal,
and the organization lost 250. 250.
When an organization gets fined $250, it's nothing. But when a defensive coordinator gets hit with
$100K, I don't care, man. That $100K is $100K. That's 10 of those plaques, the 10K chips over at Circa. That's a lot of scratch.
If Adrian Peterson was involved, he'd be going outside to find a stick.
Oh, I mean, well, and perfect comparison there because the NFL is hilarious with their fines. They initially fined for reference, Ray Rice, they fined $33,000 initially.
Well,
now,
that's the rule.
The video
Sean.
came out and then people got really upset. They upped the fine, but
I love to.
It is like the NFL just responds to whatever people get.
Well, Sean, you have to understand, this is what they collectively bargained. This is within the they can't go any further. It's just you
got to set a precedent.
We got
to root out these crank calls. Meanwhile, Cooper DeJean, Eagles legend, he got crank called. Like, this seemingly is a thing that happens. I don't.
Just the swiftness is the strange part. Like, we're still waiting on Rashi Rice. Come on,
still letting the judicial process.
You got to let the process play itself out. Anyway,
but this is I'm calling this foul. I'll tip my hand right now. These people that tweet out tweets that are fake from parody accounts. All right, if it's funny, sure, okay, I'm down for a funny, and there are parody accounts that are actually funny. There's parody Schefters.
Yeah.
Your Wes Steinberg, Ryan. He actually has there.
Would you say he is the quintessential troll newsbreaker?
Yeah, but his at least are like a little bit funny.
Yeah.
What gets me and what's insanely annoying is there was a fake tweet from a fake Jordan Schultz account. Breaking.
Got a lot of people.
The Giants and receiver Gabe Davis are finalizing a 1-year deal worth $8.5 million up to 1.25 in incentives per multiple sources to Stadium. So they're just basically tweeting out an NFL transaction that's very believable.
Yeah.
And then what? Oh, hey, I fooled people into thinking the Giants signed Gabe Davis. And what was very annoying, because on one of our shows with breaking down some NFL futures, Kramer, we discussed Gabe Davis getting released, and Kramer said, I think there's a good chance he ends up on the Giants.
Well, that's why it's believable.
Yes, because it's a thing that they would probably do.
Do you know what caused me to circle back on that? I was like, well, wait a second. I know the Giants don't have enough money to sign their draft class right now. So there's no way they signed.
What a just dumb. And then Kramer in our group chat was like, I was touting it. Yeah, he was touting it.
Which I was right, but for the record. If it was true, I was right.
Okay, so I don't know if he gets credit for that, but it's just everyone wasted their time. What's in it for you? You're not
followers, I think.
No, but it's a fake account.
That's what I mean. That's the part that doesn't make sense.
This guy has 800 followers.
The reason you do this is to catch steam and get people to start paying attention to your account. That's why the satirical ones make sense in some regard, right?
Yeah, if it's at least funny, sure. But these ones that are just
Barry Sports Talk or whatever.
Yeah, but
Sports Talk Barry.
But Barry also tweets out jokes and actually has fun stuff.
It's clearly satirical. To your point, the ones that are getting community noted away.
I like a good joke, but what is the joke? What's the prank? Oh, I thought Gabe Davis got signed by the Giants. Oh, I'm so dumb. Like, I don't get what the end game is.
It's a test to your filters.
What do you mean?
Your lists on X. You got to get those things laser focused. Although I will say, this is actually one of those things where it's like you give out information to different people to try to find out where the leak is. But the opposite, when someone sends you one of these, you just have to question their algorithm. They're getting fed the fake stuff. What does that mean about them? What does that say about them? Also, how does something like this pick up steam even?
Well, because a lot of people like it and
but
share
it starts from a nothing account.
Yeah. Just gets heat. And this guy, he's not monetized. He's not making any money off it. If you're getting paid, all right, sure.
Let's call it on the next time we do this segment, we'll call it On the Porch.
Get out of here. Foul ball. All right. When we return, we will talk about some real news, including Travis Hunter getting drafted by the Jags, and they already have some early prop bets out. We're going to break them down. Sports Gambling Podcast Live returns here on VSiN.
This is the Sports Gambling Podcast Live on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Welcome back, everyone. Sports Gambling Podcast Live. Sean, second the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan. Real money Kramer. It's happening, Kramer.
I'm feeling smart, Sean, because it does seem like I'm going to be able to buy a dip, hopefully, in this OKC Denver game.
Denver coming back a little bit. Nice back and forth affair. OKC up 64-61, 8:32 left in the third. Checking in on our steam room. We got Hartenstein up to 10 points. We just need 3 more points in the game. Joker though stuck at 9 rebounds. We need 6 more here. So hopefully he gets going here in the third. So
need maybe a couple like real close misses with putbacks.
Rebounds are a fun prop to sweat out because you can especially a guy like Joker getting his own miss. There's some fun to be had there. You know what else is fun? Edge Boost, baby. I got my Edge Boost card. This thing is amazing. I don't know if you have not signed up with Edge Boost. I don't know what you're waiting for. It is a bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums. Earn cashback rewards on all your plays. This is, honestly, this is the thing that is the most appealing to me. There's nothing better than earning cash back from something you're already doing. You're already depositing to these apps. You're already using ATM at casinos. Why not get paid to do it? 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGP. Deposit $25 and EdgeBoost will match the deposit. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGP. Kramer. Talking a little Travis Hunter props. Already some Hunter action out here. What's he going to be doing? How much offense is he going to be playing? How much defense is he going to be playing?
So do you have an updated take on that? You had to make a percentage. Percent of his snaps offense, percent of his snaps defense.
So I think he'll be out there for most offensive plays. So whatever a normal number 2 receiver would get. So 90% of offensive snaps, and I think he'll be total guess 25% of the defensive snaps.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I guess in my head I was asking you what percent of his snaps will be offense versus defense.
Okay.
But I doubt he'll play that what you just said.
Okay. What do you got?
90% of the offensive snaps is probably quite high.
Okay. What do you have him at?
I'd imagine we would see. I kind of think he's going to play 80% of his snaps offensively. So, well, no, but not 90% of the offensive snaps. Okay. I don't think he's going to play that. I think he's going to be the clear number 2 receiver. But
isn't the number 2 receiver out there for 90% of the plays?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. I think if we looked across the league, that would be probably pretty high.
Really?
I think so.
Okay.
But perhaps I'm wrong. And certainly with Liam Cohen, he does seem to want to run a number of receivers out there. But so we looked at the rookie of the year, offensive and defensive. Those markets would suggest that he's going to play more a little bit more defensive than we're saying. Well, he's chalking both. I don't think you can win defensive rookie of the year on the defensive side of the ball if you're only playing, 20% of the snaps over there. What I want to know is how do you figure out when you're going to play them on defense? Offense, it's like you can have the package of offensive plays. You can have red zone stuff with the defense. What is going to get you to say, okay, send him in the game now?
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's
kind of an interesting thing.
Maybe they're going to play him at nickel. I still don't really understand what his role is going to be. And looking at Devontae Smith, his role as the number 2 receiver in the Eagles offense.
What percent does he play?
100%. 76 when he got injured, 100%, 80, 93, 96, 88, 89, 92, 82. And then 80 in a blowout. So yeah, I think if he is playing a regular number 2 role, I would say 85 to 90%. So your number 2 receivers out there in most packages.
So then essentially
but maybe he's not the number 2 receiver. Maybe they have him at the slot or the 3.
But we would be projecting him to play more than what the equivalent of what a receiver would play if they played 100% of the offensive snaps. Cause we think he's going to spill over in his defensive snaps.
Yeah.
So that becomes very interesting because you're essentially saying I want to play this guy more snaps than players play.
Yeah.
And he wants to do it too. But don't you have to protect him from himself? This is the NFL. A lot of former players have brought
it's Liam Cohen. He doesn't have any real experience. So I think he'll play him a decent amount.
It's like
they got him because in my mind, they got him because they want to help Trevor Lawrence. He's an offensive guy. So I don't think and it sounds like they're going to play him a lot on offense.
Well, so then let's talk about the defensive prop first. 2.5 interceptions. Over is +160. Any interest in something like this?
No. I mean, I'm not laying -200. Well, I guess 2.5. No, I don't think so, because one, it's pretty tough to get interceptions as a rookie, and you don't know his role. Like, even if you're a rookie, well, one, rookie cornerbacks struggle in general, right? And
they do get targeted, though, theoretically.
True, but to be a rookie cornerback that's going to be out there enough to get 3 interceptions, I think is a big ask, especially considering you're playing offense. So I would go under at -200.
Here's what I would say. I would never bet against this because of his ball skills. Part of getting interceptions in the NFL is just having the ball skills to just make the play. And for the fact that you'd have to go late -200 to go under, no thank you. Now, on the offensive side, they have yards 700.5. They have receptions 70.5, and they have touchdowns 5.5. That the touchdowns is the one that stood out to me.
Yeah,
he's clear. Like, he comes into the league as an elite contested catch guy. If he had one elite trait, it's judging the ball in the air and getting to the high point. That is, if he played defense first, he was still going to be installed in red zone packages. And in some ways, if he was a full-time defensive back, I might still like this over 5.5 receiving touchdowns,
really?
Because of how often when they're in the red zone, you're going to look to Travis Hunter. It's the best part of his game.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched him make ridiculous catch after ridiculous catch in college. So honestly, this is a high number, but I would go over there.
Really? The bet I like the most out of the Travis Hunter ones is actually the under 70.5 receptions.
Yeah.
But to your point, Ryan,
it's a lot.
To be a number 2 receiver as a rookie and come in and get that kind of volume, it's crazy, right? Like Malik Neighbors.
Have Brian Thomas.
Yeah, Malik Neighbors came in and had a ton of receptions. One, he's a good receiver. Two, they were playing from behind a lot. But the biggest thing was he had no competition for targets. I think there's going to be a decent amount of target competition on this Jags offense, and they like to get the running backs going in the passing game. They're gonna want to get, obviously Brian Robinson a ton of work as
Brian
a number
Thomas.
2. Yeah, what did I say? Brian Robinson.
Yeah.
Brian. I mean, number 2 receiver in general, it's tough to get 71 catches.
For perspective, Brian Thomas last year had 80 in what was an amazing rookie year. Had 87 catches.
Yeah. And then, but that's because he didn't have much competition either.
I'm with you. I think I like that under as well. I like the touchdowns over, and I like the catches under.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to play the touchdowns over just because 6 is a high number, but I'm not going to fade it either because he's a dynamic guy and he's going to be fun to root for. But the under 70.5 receptions, I really like. What about the yardage? That one to me is a little tougher handle.
So Brian Thomas last year, 87 for 1282.
Yeah.
The number 2 receiver on the team was Evan Ingram, who had 47 catches for only 365 yards. So once again, if I'm doing anything here, it's got to be under, but I'd rather take the receptions. He's going to be a bigger play guy, right? I'm not seeing Travis Hunter as someone who's going to run crisp, short to intermediate stuff.
Yeah.
To me, that would be more Brian Thomas, although I think there's going to just be a lot of vertical in this offense. I think we saw a lot of vertical with Baker and Liam Cohen in Tampa. So yeah, absolutely. And I should probably take a pause from talking about Travis Hunter to buy the dip.
Yes, Ryan, we are tied up live. OKC Nuggets 69-69. And we got a foul. They're going to the line there.
Perfect time.
Perfect time to hop in live. Ryan, what are you seeing the live numbers at?
I'm seeing a 3.5. Time to buy.
Okay, so you are going to be laying the 3.5 live. Update on our sauna. We got Joker racking up some nice rebounds. He's up to 12 rebounds. We only need 3 more rebounds, and we still need 3 more points from Isaiah Hartenstein.
He missed a point blank putback.
Who?
Hartenstein.
Oh yeah, I missed that. Dang. All right, that's fine. He can get a 3 or 2 2s. We got plenty of time. Come on, Isaiah. When we return, we will be joined by the man in the box himself. doing a little bet confessionals where we pull back the curtain and admit to stuff we bet, we haven't bet, we come clean. Bet confessions when we return with CJ Sullivan. Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSiN.